Since it's Earth Day today, we're going to be learning an exploit on how you can recycle research bonuses. So, we're here in Germany, and let's take the industry techs as a demonstration. Focus.autocomplete, just so we can get these 2 times 100% industry researches. Okay. Now, normally when you get a research bonus, they're going to be stuck to whatever you click on them. This is how it worked before No Step Back came out. If you click and research these, they would have been stuck on these. The second you clicked on them, you would not have been able to reassign them. However, in No Step Back, Paradox has added a bit of a grace period. The grace period is 3 days. If you change these texts within 3 days of clicking them, you're still able to transfer them. So, for example, since the game is paused, effectively 0 days have passed by, so we're well within the 3-day grace period. So, let's say, I misclicked machine tools. I want to change it to something. Well, let's say I want to change it to fuel refining 2. You can see here the time to research is 462 days. So that's theoretically how long it should take. Except if we switch it over, it takes only 305 days. The reason it only takes 305 days is because the 100% bonus has swapped from basic machine tools onto fuel refining, since we never passed that 3-day grace period. Now, this isn't really useful for anything by itself inherently, because you can only basically get 3 days of free research on a tech before swapping it. That's not very effective. If longer than 3 days passes, so we're just going to run until January 4th or a little bit later, as long as we pass the 3 days, this is locked here now. We shouldn't be able to change it. It was 74 days to research, now it's down to 70, 4 days have passed. I try and do the same thing. Nothing happens. The bonus is stuck on basic machine tools. And that should be the end of it. Except that you can actually reset this 3-day grace period. So this is an exploit, and it's pretty much only useful in single player. You can get something similar using hot joins, but it's basically unreliable because as any player, you have no way to force a hot join, and you need to do a lot of saving and reloading. So it would be very suspicious to do it in a multiplayer game. But if you're interested in doing this in single player, then this is what you can do. Make a save. And every time you reload the save, the 3 days have been reset. So last time, if you remember, the bonus was stuck on this basic machine tools. It did not move. Let's try and move it now. And it actually moved. The reason? When we saved and reload, that 3-day grace period was reset. We were actually able to move it. So how can you actually use this usefully? Well, let's focus on one bonus. When you have 2 bonuses, some weird interactions start happening, and you can actually accidentally use up the 3-day grace period with a second technology, which messes up your research rush with your first technology. So let's focus on just one technology, Construction 1. Let's say we want to use it on Construction 1, and we also want to use it on Construction 2. We want to use it twice. So here's how we can do this. First of all, let's actually tie up the other tech here, this basic machine tools. Let's actually tie up this research bonus. The reason being that I don't want to accidentally just spend 2 bonuses. I want to show that you can actually do this with only 1 bonus. So this bonus is going to be tied up in basic machine tools. So we're just going to let the time run, which is why I'm going to turn off AI and debug smoothing to make the game run faster. And we're going to get relatively close to this being finished. Okay, Construction 1 is nearly finished. So what do we do now? Also notice that we used up one of the 100 times bonuses on basic machine tools. So we're left with only 1 times 100% bonus. If this one gets used up, we have no bonuses left. So we don't want that to happen. We want to use it on Construction 2. How can we do that? The first step is to get it off of Construction 1. And of course, the way we do that is that exploit that I mentioned earlier. The fact that you can reset the 3-day grace period by loading a save. Now that the save is loaded, this is able to be reset. We can reset it over here. Okay, so we've swapped the research onto something else off of Construction 1. Now we want to make sure that this gets locked to this. So what can we do? We can let the 4 days pass. So it's April 6th, Let's wait until April 10th. So now that April 10th has passed, this bonus is locked onto Fuel Refining 2. And this tech can be switched. It can be switched back to Construction 1. And you'll notice the 100% bonus is stuck here. And we can finish Construction 1. Now that Construction 1 is finished, we do the same trick again. We save and load to reset the three-day grace period. Now that the grace period is reset, it's more than simple to just click here and click here. 296 days normally, but with the bonus 185 days. And you can rinse and repeat this as many times as you like. It's pretty hard to pull off when you have 2 times 100% industry researches, because you have to basically keep both of them occupied at the same time and switch both of them to other techs. But generally speaking, 1 times 100% is more than enough to help you blitz through the researches. This actually works for any tech. It's not exclusive to industry. It's any tech that you can manage to have some additional tech that you can save it up for. So for example, if you want to rush super heavy tanks randomly, for example, you can use an armor bonus to nearly finish heavies, lock it onto basic armor protection, finish heavies, and then switch it using the saving trick. Or same with infantry equipment, by locking the infantry equipment onto like the support weapons, for example. It doesn't work, for example, if you're trying to research something where there's no way to switch it. For example, I guess, for example, if you have something like nuclear research, you wouldn't be able to switch it because nothing else can save the nuclear research. But almost every research bonus in this game can be swapped onto something else. You know, even if it's a very specific bonus like fighters, you are probably usually able to switch it onto carrier fighters or something like that. So this trick will generally apply for whatever you need.